Hey everyone, Justiny Game Tano here, internet's busiest rap battle fan. Today we are taking a look at Talking Ben versus Ben Shapiro by Power of Dan. Now, Power of Dan is a creator normally known for his joke series, Dream versus Anything, and that kind of jokiness often leaks into his other work in his more serious battles. I think even Dream versus Taft 2 is a pretty prominent example of his serious battles and his more jokey personality mashing together. And so that's kind of what I came into this battle expecting. Now, a bit of additional information I found upon my research is that this battle is supposedly a part 2, a sequel to Loco Rap Battles' is Talking Ben versus Parappa the Rapper, because they're both Talking Ben battles. And I'm not quite sure I follow all of that logic. It doesn't take away from how I view the battle. I think it's just a weird thing to tack on, other than I believe that the backgrounds are the same in both battles and they both use Talking Ben. So I'm not sure why this correlation is a thing. I don't know if it was Dilly's request or Dan's request, but that's just a bit of info going into this. So we're going to start with the writing. Now, the lines that, there were a couple lines that got a good reaction out of me. They got a little chuckle out of me. Lines like, you want wokeness destroyed, because I'm gonna start snoring, but he actually starts snoring. I think that's pretty cute. The milk truck line about Ben Shapiro's sister got a legitimate laugh out of me on first watch. It's just not something I expect him to say, but it's very funny to have Ben Shapiro call his sister that. Another line that I thought was pretty good was the columnist on death row column. That's pretty obvious there. And yeah, there are some good bits of writing in this battle. That being said, there are some weaker points in the writing, in my opinion. A lot of it coming down to the rhyme schemes. There's one rhyme scheme in Ben Shapiro's first verse that lines up to be a double rhyme, a double syllable rhyme. It starts with great flow, lame home, but it ends on bitch owned. And I feel like that's just, I get that he probably didn't intend for it to be that way, but it feels like a bit of a slightly scuffed rhyme scheme. There's also a line in the battle that straight up doesn't rhyme at all, where he rhymes make with dank. Even within the battle, with how Carrick delivers the line, I can see what he's trying to do to make the line rhyme, but it's just not working out. So yeah. Another example of the less than stellar writing in this battle is the last four lines of Talking Ben's first verse feel a bit weird in delivery. I'm not sure if this is Danny who may have made a mistake, but my guess is it's more likely Dan, because even reading the lines through the document, there seems to be a bit of syllable stuffing, or maybe not syllable stuffing, but it's a bit of a misunderstanding of how many syllables fit within each bar, and so the more rush delivery of a line makes it feel a bit more awkward. It doesn't feel as natural with all the syllable stuffing within those four lines, for instance. That being said, I thought the fast rap at the end of Ben Shapiro's second verse was actually pretty good, and at a pretty good place in the battle to help change up the pace a bit. And yeah, there was no big example of syllable stuffing. I thought maybe it was a bit awkward, but it could also be the voice that Carrick is trying to do that makes the delivery a bit more difficult. But yeah, overall, that fast rap is actually probably the highlight of the battle, writing wise. Even if substantially it's not as strong, but there's a lot of good flow and a lot of funny writing, I think, in there that helps alleviate the less heavy disses. And with the writing of this battle, the structure is also a bit strange initially reading the document. Ben Shapiro's second verse has 10 bars, and Talking Ben's second verse has 6. So the ending feels a bit weird in reading, but the beat editing and the way it's done, it actually feels surprisingly seamless. I don't feel distracted by the fact that the battle ends on not complete like sets of 4. I only really noticed that reading the document. With the beat structure, I want to talk about the general audio of this battle. My first main complaint being the beat that Dan chose for this battle. It doesn't feel like it fits. The beat itself is not egregious. It's not a bad beat. It just doesn't feel like the type of thing for this battle. I expected something a lot more bouncy and fun than the flow by ANYWAYWELL. So that was a surprising twist, I guess. Again, it's not a bad implementation. I'm assuming that maybe Dan just wanted to use this beat and this was his opportunity to, or he thought this could be a fitting matchup. But yeah, the beat is just, I don't think it fits for this type of matchup. But again, the beat editing itself and the beat itself are perfectly fine. So not something that I'm particularly upset over. Onto the performances, I thought Danny did pretty well. I wish he had a bit more aggressiveness or maybe a bit more energy in his performance, but I understand that's not the kind of character that Talking Ben is, but it would have made the battle a bit more interesting to listen to on his side, at least. And on that topic, he sounds very weirdly muffled in his mixing. I think Danny has said that the issue is with his mic and not with the mixing, and that it actually is supposed to be accurate to Talking Ben for him to sound like that, which I do get. It is a bit of a funny afterthought, but I still think, it makes the battle a little less enjoyable to listen to. Not a knock at anyone, it's just an unfortunate truth of the situation, at least in my opinion. On the contrary, I think Carrick's performance is pretty standout, actually. Carrick is not someone who I thought could pull off Ben Shapiro, at least as well as he did, but he gave the performance a pretty good comedic tone in his delivery, and he also did the flow pretty well. I remember that Carrick wasn't always great with flow, and so hearing him be able to, flow decently, especially in the fast rap is what I'm referring to, is a good sign of improvement. So that's props to him, I think. Onto the video. It's pretty obvious that the standout here is Pixel Chris's physical performance as Ben Shapiro. It does make me laugh watching it, watching all the bits that he does, and how unintentionally awkward he seems. I know Chris often looks a bit awkward in their roles, in my opinion. Sometimes he looks a bit shaky, like he doesn't know whether to fully give in to the insanity of the performance or to just kind of follow a more standard thing. But yeah, I was really happy to see him do so well in this role. I think it actually might be his best live action performance yet. So points to that. I thought the Val art for Talking Ben was quite nice. I like seeing community members who aren't, Dustin and Eddie get work with people like Val, kind of opening the community up more. And yeah, and of course, Dan's editing, as always, is absolutely phenomenal. The man is an amazing editor, and it is crazy how great he is at rap battle editing, despite his time actually in the community. But yeah, he's a fantastic editor. Overall, I'm going to give the battle a light 6. I think it's a pretty good showing of Dan's style and what he's capable of. I think he has a good enough understanding of fundamentals with obviously room to grow. But the battle isn't necessarily doing anything crazy new or anything that we haven't seen before, but it just does more pretty good stuff with what I'm sure we're all pretty familiar with from Dan, from Ben Shapiro as a rap battle character, and from Talking Ben as a rap battle character. And so, yeah, transition. Did you give this battle a watch? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Just the Game Tano forever.